little bit about what um, 5D kind of means um, in terms of some of the things I post. Like I think I posted yesterday. It was I was saying, dear spiritual people, don't feel so compelled to teach, right? And I just want to clarify that, meaning that, I'm not telling you not to help people. I'm not necessarily even literally telling you not to teach. What I'm trying to tell you is that we all know in the spiritual community about the shift, right? And where the earth, I won't even say where the earth is going, where it's already kind of gone, and how it's reflecting in the things that are going on around us, such as what we're experiencing now, this whole pandemic. Um, 5D is a conscious reality. It's what you may say is heaven, right? And you've heard the term that we are in hell here on earth, right? That's the 3D reality, right? And so right now, um, what's going on is that the shift is occurring or has already occurred, and it's kind of starting to weed out, who's going with and who's not, right? And so we see a lot of things going on in the world that are kind of seeing who's still stuck in 3D and who has either is on the, in 4D or is on the verge of awakening their consciousness, is interested in awakening their consciousness, who's already woken their consciousness, and what human beings are going to be able to shift with the earth. You see a lot of things that evoke fear going on right now, right? We can obviously point to the coronavirus as it's, what's current right now, right? People are losing their goddamn minds, right? People are living in, walking in, and reacting out of fear. That's the first thing. And then you also have people who are living in and walking and reacting out of anger, mostly at the people who are living in and walking in and reacting out of fear. And so when I say to the spiritual community, don't necessarily try to teach, is because a lot of times to teach, you have to meet people where they're at, right? Which means that you have to be skilled in lowering your vibration, which is the frequency. Let's clear that up, because people always say something about vibing loud, your vibes. It's become so commercial, you vibe too low, and I don't think people even know what the hell they're talking about. To vibe low and to vibe high has to deal with frequency. So if you don't know what frequency is, then you probably shouldn't be using those terms. The frequency of fear and anger are much lower than the frequency of love, right? Fear and anger is here, love's up here. 100 to 200, 500, right? And so a couple of reasons why I say, don't waste your time with the teaching is because, A, you have to be skilled at knowing how to descend and to ascend again. And not everyone can do that, despite how smart or how much you think you've read. Not everyone can do that. A lot of people descend with good intentions, trying to help people, and they get stuck. You understand what I'm saying? So you did all that work to enlighten yourself, and then you try to help people, and then you get stuck, right? You got to have a strong arm to reach down and carry people. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is that a lot of times people who are unaware, they can't see. So like I said, fear, anger, sadness is down here, love is up here. Down here can't see up here. You get it? It's not in their line of vision. It's so it's a reason a lot of times where people who are in poverty can't get themselves up out of poverty. They literally cannot see the things that they need to do to get themselves out of poverty. It's not in their line of vision. Just imagine, like me, I wear contacts, right? When I take my contacts out, shit gets blurry, right? So imagine people who are on a low frequency, they need contacts to see on the high frequency, but they can't. So you're just driving around, right? You're driving around because you don't have your contacts on, you're missing your turns. You missing a stop sign and you crashing into other cars and hitting people and shit. That's kind of how it works. You know what I'm saying? It's people have to have a desire and a want and a need to free themselves. You can't force it on people. There's a story, and I can't think of the name of it, but I know it's by Rumi, about a bird, right? I'll try to tell it real quick. It was about this bird who, I think he got caught and he was in a cage and the owners had him and they loved him so much and he would sing for him every day, sing his song or whatever. But he desperately wanted to be free, right? And so his owner one day told him that he was going somewhere, I don't know, I remember all the details, but he was going somewhere where he might see the bird's family or something like that. And the bird had been thinking, how am I going to get free? How am I going to get free? And so he told the owner, he told him something to the effect, you know, he coded it, but he basically told him, you know, if you see one of my family members, ask him what I can do to be free. He told him that without, you know, coming out and saying it, right? And so the owner, you know, went on his trip or whatever, and he ran into the bird's family, and he basically told the message to the birds, even though it was coded, and the birds understood. And when he told it to one of the birds just got stiff and fell out and died, right? Owner was distraught. He went home, he told the bird, he said, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. And your family members, he was like, when I told him what you said, he was like, he got stiff and he fell out and died. Soon as he told the bird got stiff and fell out and died, right? He took the bird, he was distraught, he felt so bad. He took the bird out to the, you know, outside of the house and opened the cage and was getting ready to bury him, and the bird got up and flew the fuck away. You understand that once you have a desire to be free, you're going to figure out what the fuck you have to do to get that freedom. But you have to have the desire first. The bird, oh, that's the part that I'm missing from the story. The bird was always singing for the people. And his family member told him, before he fell out and died, he told the owner something to the effect of, you know, basically stop singing for these people because that's why they're keeping you locked in a cage. You're serving these people's needs, and that's why they're keeping you locked in a cage. And if you want to free yourself, then this is what you got to do to get out. So my whole point is, you can't save people. You can't wake people who don't want to wake up. It's not going to happen. And like I said before, you might not be strong enough to be trying to do that. You might be damaging yourself. Sometimes there's that level. See, that's what they mean when they say self-care. You have to save yourself. You can't always be trying to save other people because you will damage yourself. Another thing is that, you know, people like to utilize love and light and talk all this light worker shit because it's so trendy. And a lot of times it's total bullshit. You cannot be a light worker in any form or fashion if you haven't walked in darkness. Darkness is the creation of light. It is spirit in its rawest form. Okay? That's A. B, if you have not conquered your darkness, if you have not faced your dragon, you don't get the elevation of light. That's like a higher level. You understand what I'm saying? Think about video games. And I don't play video games. It's been a long time since I played a video game. But you think about Super Mario Brothers. I'm going to go back old school because Nintendo is the only thing I used to remember. Mario, remember, he used to have to go to that first level and then he went underground. He had to go through all this bullshit to go through the next level, right? You don't get to level up to a light worker and you ain't been through the darkness. Period. And people who preach against the darkness and who be talking about light shit, they're using light work as escapism. Okay, they're selling you bullshit. You can't get clean until you get dirty. And when it comes to the end of the day, it's the same shit. Okay, it's just levels, right? Morning Star, when he decided to go against creation, he had to battle Michael. Okay, and Michael whooped his ass, but in whooping his ass, Michael also fell. They all fell. When Morningstar fell, he took what, a third of the legion of angels with him. Um, and so it's deeper than rap. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just, oh, love and light, positivity, affirmations. That's not what it is. That's not what this work is. That's not what any of this is about. Um, I mean, for people who are Christian, when you think of Jesus, what did Jesus have to go through? That man already had the light of God. He had to descend. Okay? He had to come amongst the people. He had to come amongst the people, and he had to endure before he was able to carry his cross and get his rebirth and get his light. I don't think a lot of y'all understand what that means. When he was on that cross, that was symbolic of him dying to himself. It wasn't necessarily him. It wasn't him dying for the people. He was dying to himself because he did what he had to do to get that title of Christ. We talk about Christ consciousness, where that's where that comes from. He had to go out to the people. He had to get his 5D. He had to show love. He didn't go out and he wasn't out here talking down on people. A lot of spiritual people love to do that. He wasn't talking down on people. He was out there showing love to people who was complete fucking trash. Okay? And that's how he got his light. And that's how he got all powerful. But we won't even go into all of that. Another thing, with mastering the darkness is you have to know how to use it as a tool. Okay? Talk about King Solomon. He had dominion over the angels and the demons, because angels and demons are the same things. Some have lesser light, but they all command their own individual armies. They all have their specific purposes, and he used both to his personal needs and to do what he needed to do. So with that being said, I guess my whole point is that do what you need to do and go where you need to get where you need to go. Everything can't always be about everybody. And I think that if you're overly focused on what other people know and what they don't know, then you're kind of missing the whole entire point. I see it all day long, especially in the spiritual community. People who are supposed to be so woke, and all they post is how stupid everyone else is, and this and what you don't know. And okay, well, you just are, letting us know that you still have a lot of work to do, and that you are not as enlightened as you claim to be. Because like we just said, the 5D reality is love. 5D is not hate at all. Y'all laugh at Kanye because I want to love and love and love. But he's done his work. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. 5D and enlightenment transcends the color of your skin. It transcends hate. It transcends all that stuff that people sit around being mad about. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of woke people who are so enraged about slavery. Slavery over with. And yes, we still feel the effects of it. I get that, and I get all the other stuff that goes along with that. But you being mad about it is not going to change the fact that it happened. It's not going to help your people at all. Sorry, my computer is doing something crazy. So, anywho, really just take some time. I mean, especially right now, I think that observation is probably going to be your superpower. Less talk and more walk. More introspection, more studying, less teaching, more pouring into as opposed to, speaking down on. And you know, I'm with everybody else. I love a good joke. I love to crack jokes and say sarcastic shit all the time. Um, but in all actuality, when we get down to the nitty gritty of it, that's not what the whole point is. That's not why you're honoring your ancestors. That's not why you're honoring Orisha. That's not why you're praising Jesus. Um, whatever you believe in. And that's another thing. Allow people their own beliefs. Um, just because something doesn't feed you doesn't mean that you have a right to starve somebody else because they may be getting full off of that. You have no right. You have no right. Everyone has the right to believe in whatever they want to be, despite how you personally feel about that, despite whether it's wrong in your eyes. People have the right to believe in whatever the fuck they want to believe in. You don't get to tell somebody that their beliefs are right or wrong. If their beliefs are not personally hurting you, you don't get to tell them that their beliefs are right or wrong. Stop attacking people because they want to be Christian and they want to go to the church. Just like you hate the church because they attack African and spirituality, you don't get to attack the church either. It's the same shit. You're doing the same thing. And essentially it's all spewing hate. And that just kind of it cancels out the whole purpose. You might as well just to go take your ass to Christian church if you're gonna turn around and go to Santeria or under Ifa or Voodoo and then do the same exact thing. You're fucking muddying the waters and calling it deep. Okay? And again, save your teachings for people who seek you out, people who really want to learn. Don't cast your pearls before swine. It's a waste of your fucking time and energy. You know what I'm saying? You're hurting yourself at the end of the day, and why would you ever do that? And for those who, are not, so far on their enlightenment, on their work for their ascension, learn how to free yourself. And I mean the easiest way to free yourself is to consider that everything that you've ever known, you've ever seen is false. And accept that. Practice radical acceptance of yourself and of other people. Okay? You don't have to agree with. You don't have to like. You don't even have to care. But practice radical acceptance. Okay? That's the easiest way to start your journey. Tell yourself, wow, I always told that I was being ghetto for wearing, red hair or long nails. Let it go. It doesn't matter. It's not true. That's someone's opinion. Focus on the very first universal law, the one that unlocks the door. All is mental. All is mental, right? Everything is mental. Acceptance and detachment from pretty much any and all things is going to be your key to happiness. We're miserable because we can't accept. People are miserable over death because they cannot accept that it happened. However, it happened and you can't bring that person back. People are miserable over in their relationships because they can't accept the person for who they are. They're miserable over past relationships because they can't accept that the shit went down the way it did, even though it did. You know what I'm saying? Accept it. The only way you can release something is if you accept it. You can't release hurt and pain. You can't release the scars of abuse if you don't accept that it happened. You can't release your ex from your soul. You can't cut that soul tie unless you accept that person came into your life and it went down this way and then it ended, right? Be kind to yourself, because if you're kind to yourself, then it's easier for you to be kind to other people. Allow yourself to flail and to fail, because if you can allow yourself to flail and fail, then you can allow other people to do so. And learn. When I say detach, that doesn't mean don't feel. Feel your emotions. Don't be governed by your emotions, though. Okay, this motherfucker wrongs me. I'm mad. Great. Feel it. Be mad. So you can understand what's going on, and then let it go. Don't act from that feeling, because 9 times out of 10, the only person you're gonna hurt is you. 9 times out of 10. Let go of, if you really want to get to 5D, you gonna have to let go of the notion of duality too. You're gonna have to let go of the notion of duality. Feel how you want to feel about that statement. And face your dragon. You know what I'm saying? Deal with your Saturn. Deal with the things that black folks like to call demons. You know what I'm saying? Conquer it. Cut the head off that motherfucker. You know? And learn how to use the things that have been holding you down as tools of power. You know what I'm saying? And stop getting so caught up in your adversaries. First of all, if you know your adversary, then you already won. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to plot and plan on no goddamn body. And shut the fuck up. People talk so much. Like, I see people talk so much, especially like on social sites like Facebook. People talk so much. You tell all your fucking business. You tell all your plans. You give away your blessings. If you are plotting on somebody, you done already told them what you was going to do. Stop complaining and start doing. And understand that you have the same 24 hours as anyone. You know what I'm saying? I always say this, and people laugh when I say it, but I know why I'm not Beyonce. I ain't finna do none of that shit that Beyonce does to be Beyonce, period, at all. We can leave the talent part out of it, whether I can sing or not. That ain't the point. I'm not about to do none of that stuff she do to be who she is, and that's why I'm not her. You have to know your limitations. That's a superpower right there. Know your limitations. Stop pretending that, you know, you can do this, and that, and you know you're not gonna fucking do it. And understand that your reality is it's you. It's based off of you. Nobody made your life hard. Nobody has made you poor. Nobody has made you have bum ass baby daddies. Nobody has made you fat. None of that. It's you. You are the creator and the destroyer. Period. You are the one who creates the reality of your life, and you are also the one who can destroy it. When I always said all the time, burn that shit down to the ground. I burn my shit down at least every 5 years. Burn it down and start all over again. As long as you have breath in your body, at least on this realm, you can do that. And if you're doing the work that you need to do on this realm, you're going to be able to make it and create those other levels. You know what I'm saying? Free yourself. And enjoy, above all things, enjoy life. I feel like a lot of people get so caught up in trying to, you know, study spirituality and study essentially, and teach, that you don't even enjoy real life. Like, it's okay to not talk that shit 24/7. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to talk some hood shit. It's okay to talk some funny shit. It's okay to talk fashion. It's okay to talk music. It's okay to talk about wigs. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be this deep spiritual person all the time. Because first of all, if you really are that deep, it's already, when you walk through the door, people already know it. You ain't gotta announce yourself. So, you know, I really feel like that's probably all I have to say about that. Anyway, have a good week. Try to not let the nonsense affect you. You know, try not to get so caught up in current events and social media. I do believe that everything happens for a reason. Um, I do believe there's a lesson in every single thing. This whole coronavirus thing is calling us to quiet down, to, to stop looking outside of ourselves, um, for, you know, for fulfillment. Um, and, you know, we're in a 4 year, right? This is the year of building, okay? The number 4, we manifest at 4. Why do we manifest at 4? Because the number 4 is a doing number, okay? A lot of people miss in manifestation. You know, we talk a lot about the law of attraction, right? And, oh, if I think these thoughts, and that's not how it works. That's not how manifestation works. You just don't think the thoughts and they come to you. You have to, the law of attraction is more so based heavily on the law of vibration, okay? And we just talked about frequency earlier. So everything vibrates. Everything has a frequency. Just like I said that fear is down here and love is up here, and the people down here who are vibing down here, they can't see the vibe up here. Okay? So the law of vibration means that you're fixing yourself so that you're vibrating right here with the things that you want, so it comes in your line of sight. Like I told my ladies in my vision board workshop, you ever bought a new car and then all of a sudden you start seeing that fucking car everywhere? It's because it's on your radar, it's in your line of vision. You're vibrating at that level. That's why they tell you when you want to manifest, go test drive the type of cars you want to have. Go to open houses to see the house, because you need to put yourself in that line of vision. You need to vibrate on that level. If you see it, you can believe. If you believe it, you can see it. You can do it, you can achieve it, all that, you know, those little cliche terms or whatever. You know, so work on that. You know what I'm saying? Work on getting the things you want in your line of sight by doing. You can't just say, oh, I want a BMW 350i series and it's going to show up. No. You're going to have to sit down and you're going to have to figure out how much that car costs, how much those monthly payments are going to be, how much money you're going to have to put down to get those monthly payments where you want them, and what you're going to have to do to get your income on a level where you can afford that. Those things right there already have you vibing on a frequency that's going to put you in alignment to get that fucking car. And I can testify to that because I've done it before. You have to take action. You can't sit here and say, oh, I want to start my business, but you're sitting on social media all day complaining. I see people, oh my God, I see people sit and complain all day long about what they got. And I'm trying to sit, you know, not be judgmental, but I'm trying to think to myself, like, how do you have time to even fix that if you complaining all this whole day? You don't know, you know what I'm saying? You got to take action. And that's what the 4 year is all about. It's a year of manifestation. 4 represents a foundation. It's a solid. You know what I'm saying? If you have 2, you got 2 legs, you can stand solid. But if you got 4 legs, you can sit shit on top of it. You can build on top of it. You can expand. You have to, but you got to take action to do it. Nothing builds itself. And that, you know, that totally applies to what I talked about at the beginning of this video. You know, if your aspirations is to be enlightened and to, you know, ascend to this 5D reality, then you have to take action within yourself to do the things that are going to get you there. You cannot be an angry person and a fearful person with aspirations of a 5D reality, which is love and you know, this light, but you still barking on all day long. It's not going to happen for you. It's just not going to happen for you. You can't, like that bird in Rumi's story, you're not going to be able to get out that cage if you steady singing for the people who put you in the damn cage. Okay? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And if you've made it out, again, unless you got that strong arm because you exercising so much, you ain't got time to be carrying folks. You gotta let them. You gotta let them come to you, and trust me, they'll come to you. I'm not saying don't drop dimes and don't give gems, but you ain't gotta be stressing out and calling people stupid and being upset because they won't learn what you want to learn and all that other stuff. You're just hurting yourself. You're just hurting yourself. Um, so yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna talk for 30 damn minutes with my big ass mouth. I didn't even. This is supposed to be a 10-minute video, but enjoy the week. Do the things. Do the best that you can until you could do better. Smile at somebody. I find that's the easiest way to make me feel better. I'll smile at a stranger on the street, give somebody a compliment, hold the door for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Crack a joke. Everything ain't gotta be hardcore. I mean that to the fullest. Everything ain't gotta be hardcore. I'm a pretty sassy lady, but I try to go out my way when I can to show kindness because that's what I want from people. And if I put that energy out there, it's gonna bounce back. It always has. It always will. And don't worry so much about those who don't like and haters and all that other shit. They don't even matter unless you give them energy. So, all right. Goodbye.